Busy day. My wife's 60th birthday was today, so we just got back from a family and friend get together, and prior to that I was really busy all day too, so didn't really have much of a chance to put a video out. So as you can see, this is it. I think it's more or less in place now, the wash-in. Laid a lot of little trunks here and there, changed a couple of things, not much, or not, I didn't lay a lot of trunks, I laid a lot of branches in. And you know, that may still change a little bit, we'll see. You know, we have these larger areas that look probably through the camera now to be kind of boring, but that's okay. You're not looking at the painting, you're looking at the wash-in. My roadmap, the roadmap that I built for myself. And I already sort of have formulated in my head where I want to go with different color varieties and what have you. I didn't do anything in the foreground, don't need to, it's going to be subdued, not going to worry about it yet. You know, the greatest interest in the painting obviously is between these two goalposts. In general, in the foreground, these don't appear to be as strong as those right now. In fact, these will end up stronger. They're going to come down, and our general sweep in the most foreground area is going to be heading down. Our general sweep of the bush, or where the light catches the bush, in the background, will be heading up. So the two will oppose each other a little bit. It's going to be kind of gentle. It's not going to be very strong that way. I would like to show some direction because we want a little bit of music. We want a little bit of rhythm in there, right? In the painting. I don't know. I still haven't decided if I'm going to use a brush or a knife. I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning what the mood, what kind of a mood hits me when I get back on to playing with this. I was saying yesterday I had a small old tube of Van Dyke Brown Grumbacher, and I just used it almost straight. No, I added a little bit of white to it to do these distant trunks. When I added a little bit of white to it for the purposes here, it worked out well. It could have been just straight raw umber. It's been years since I've used Van Dyke Brown. If memory serves correctly, I think I found that it ended up being, once mixed with other colors, it ended up going dirty very quickly. So I've stayed away from it. It's not really part of my palette, but as I've mentioned before, I have a lot of stray old tubes of paint from years gone by. You know, it's like Viridian Green isn't part of my palette. I like to make my own greens, but every now and then I still have a few tubes, or a tube or two of Viridian Green. You know, I'll use a little bit here and there. Nice variety. What was I going to mention here? There was another color I was thinking of. I think it's probably raw sienna. If I want something like raw sienna, I'll mix yellow ochre and a bit of burnt sienna, a hint of burnt sienna. Actually a little raw umber. Most of the raw sienna paint that I've used in the past, it seems very weak. It loses its chroma very quickly as soon as you up the value. Naples yellow is a common color on a lot of people's palettes. I don't like it because I can use cad yellow pale and yellow ochre and end up with virtually the same colors. And I have more control over the subtleties of hue, you know, that I get in there. Lemon yellow I don't like. It's another one, you know. A lot of people prefer lemon yellow over cad yellow pale. Lemon yellow, again, I've played with it a little bit. I find it to be very weak. And a lot of the time, I pick my favorite colors more, well, also, this weighs heavily on it. How they mix with other colors. You know, so if I use lemon yellow and I mix it with, for example, raw umber, that lemon yellow just gets destroyed. I have to add a lot of lemon yellow and just a hint of raw umber to arrive at the color that I want, and even then I just find it a bit dirty. If I use cad yellow pale and raw umber, I end up with a crisper, cleaner paint, and I don't need to use as much cad yellow pale. Anyway, those are just my experiences. You know, obviously results will vary with everybody. I'm blithering again. I don't need to do that. I'm going to go to bed, and we'll jump into this tomorrow. If the sky don't fall, the creeks don't rise, and if God's willing. See you soon, guys.